Hey there, it's post editing Lizzie. Man, this week's video, mm, it's rough. Um, so it is going to be cut into two parts, both about 30 minutes long. But I'm not going to make you wait for them. I'm going to post them one right after the other once I get them edited. Um, there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember. So that's it. I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome to another episode of What is My Hair Doing Today? Just kidding. It's an episode of Reading with Lizzie, where I, very late in the month, go over what I read in the month of November. I am Lizzie, obviously. Seriously, what is this? It's sticking straight. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know what? How about you just maybe lay down? No, okay. Look, guys, I did an oil treatment. I do like a scalp oil treatment like every Sunday, and I leave it sit like all day, and then I shower and wash my hair and my bangs. Seriously, they don't know what they're doing, and that's kind of my life. I'm just gonna be bird-like, I guess. Okay, hydration break already. All right. So, I have so far in the month of November read 20 books, and we're just going to go over them. They will be kind of over here ish. At least the covers will be. I am also going to go over. I have finished one more prompt for Herkyed, and so I will be going over that. And I'd say I'll talk about Sufferathon, but honestly, I okay, we will go over Sufferathon at the end of the video. I'm suffering, that is for sure. Oh boy. Okay, so actually, you know what? I think we should start maybe with Sufferathon. And then because like yeah, we're gonna do that. So let me open this up because I have a handy dandy little spreadsheet that I have made. Um, oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. It's very simple. So, yeah, let's see. Okay. So I think, so we got a game board. Um, oh, I do not have a copy of the game board saved. Okay, but I do have my prompts saved, and they will be over here, just like the books. So, first of all, we had to roll dice, and I got published before the year 2000. Genuinely compliment somebody. Move forward 2 spaces. Move forward 2 spaces. Uh, Oldest publication. Move back 3 spaces. Start a series. Do a Herkyed prompt, which I chose the series staircase. Then move back 2 spaces. Then move back 2 spaces again. Read a standalone book. Finish a TBR game twice. Which I was going to do my own TBR that I've made, which is like a version of MASH, for all of my millennials out there. If you want to take a look at it, let me know in the comments. I'll post it. And then I had to do a format other than my primary, so I was just going to listen to an audiobook, go back 2 spaces, and that one was reminds you of a host, then a mood read, then food on the cover or a book that makes you hungry, receptionist doesn't like, move forward 2 spaces, move forward 2 spaces, start and finish a series. I hadn't, and then spell out your name. So before I could even get any of that done, I was given a parameter, a punishment, that 63.7% of my books have to have an animal companion or have a purple cover. Now, to be fair, I did ask for that. I asked for a fun little rule that I had to follow. Why? I don't know, but I did. So keep that in mind. And then, like, day one, apparently all of us got food poisoning from a parasite. So we had to read a book about a parasite. Now, that gets me into what, and they keep adding prompts. The receptionist, the host, can add prompts / punishments whenever they want, essentially. And it is not quite every day, maybe every other day, every 3 days. And so I have been prioritizing those extra prompts. So when they come up, I try to get those done ASAP, before going on with all of the prompts that I just read through, which were my board prompts for the game board. So, with that said, here is what my prompts look like already at this point, as of November 23rd. Let's see. Can I zoom in a little? There we go. Okay. As you can see, Parasite book. I just explained that one. 4-hour tour, extra prompt. Brain or potato, extra prompt. Scorpio book, extra prompt. 1,000-page book. That was a punishment from Sam, which I actually took. Book with a form of transportation, extra prompt. Book set in another country, extra prompt. 2 animals on the cover, extra prompt. 450-page book, extra prompt. Buddy read with somebody, extra prompt. Cat on the cover, extra prompt. Cat on the cover, extra prompt. Opposite of current read, extra prompt. Oh, look, there's that first prompt that I rolled. And then we had a reading challenge, and my team lost, so I had to start over. So I did one prompt. I did one prompt from the game board and then had to start all over again after everything I rolled. All of those prompts, gone. All the books that I had planned to read for those prompts, gone. So, starting all over again, I just rolled one. Just one. Because I didn't want to have everything planned out again. And at this point, I think this happened last weekend, so like the 20th. Not the 20th. That was just 3 days ago. Whatever last weekend was, the 16th ish. Yeah, start all over. Midpoint of the month. So that was a poll pick. So I gave the Discord 3 choices. They picked Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which is great because that was also something that I'm doing for another extra prompt, which was, it started as a punishment for 2 people, and then because of who those 2 people are, it got expanded to everybody. And so we all had to read a picture book, a middle grade book, a young adult book, a new adult book, an adult book, and a classic. Yeah, 6. And we have to read those before doing anything else for the game board. So here's that right here. You can see these ones. Oh, no, not that first one. That was something else. There's those. So also, yes, I did have to share an Eagle's Headache. Read a book for that. But then here's these. As you can see, I still haven't finished that. I do have an adult book I have to read and a classic that I have to pick out. That's probably going to be something by H.G. Wells because I have a bunch of H.G. Wells books already. I'm just going to pick one of those and do it. So yeah, so it is the 23rd. Hold on. It is the 23rd of November. I have officially read 20 books. Only one of them was on the actual game board. Then I restarted. I started the first book of the game board. Yeah. And I was just volunteered to restart my board again. Which, I mean, fine. It is what it is. It's. Ah! I think I'm gonna, if I have to re-roll, I think I'm gonna use a d20. Just do it. My bangs are getting worse. Oh, wait. It's mirrored. Look at that. It's getting worse. Um, so now to get into the books that I have actually read in November. Starting off, Parasite book. I read Leech by Hiran Ennis. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. So this is a horror science fiction book. Um, it's their debut novel. Uh, Meet the cure for the human disease. In an isolated chateau as far north as north goes, the Baron's doctor has died. The doctor's replacement has a mystery to solve, discovering how the Institute lost track of one of its many bodies. For hundreds of years, the Interprovincial Medical Institute has grown by taking root in young minds and shaping them into doctors, replacing every human practitioner of medicine. The Institute is here to help humanity, to cure, to cut, to cradle, and protect the species from the apocalyptic horrors their ancestors unleashed. In the frozen north, the Institute's body will discover a competitor for its rung at the top of the evolutionary ladder. A parasite is spreading through the Baron's castle, already a dark pit of secrets, lies, violence, and fear. The two will make war on the battlefield of the body. Whichever wins, humanity will lose again. This was amazing. I gave this 5 stars. But realistically, it's like a 7-star read. It was brilliant. It was horrifying. Um, it felt, if you've read anything that's like a parasitic plot book or watched any movies, it felt comforting in such a way that, like, if you read those books, you're going to know kind of what happens. And yet, there was still so much variance and so many twists and turns that it felt completely new and interesting. And I completely missed a big hook of the book, as did the doctor. I absolutely despised the Baron and his son Didier. The wife Helene and the twins were really, really sad but interesting and intriguing characters. I am very excited to read more by this author. I really hope that they publish more because this was very good. Next, I read, let's just whiplash here. I read Man, I Feel Like a Gremlin. And that is a splatterpunk book. I don't even really want to read the description. Man, I Feel Like a Gremlin is a splatterpunk tale of forced feminization, body horror, and the most devious creature of all. A womanizing straight man who gets possessed by a lady gremlin hungry for the succulent flesh of men. It is disgusting and horrifying. Uh, very, very graphic gore and violence, very graphic sex scenes, disgusting, totally disgusting. I gave this 3 stars because mainly because there were some like grammar errors that I felt like this book is only 23 pages and there was probably 6 to 10 grammatical errors, I think, which feels like a lot for a 23-page book. Yeah? Yeah. So that one again was for, did I put that someplace on? No, that was just that wasn't even for a Sufferathon. That was just like a buddy read that I was doing with some friends. Yeah, that's what my friends and I read. Potato Book. I read All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling. Yes, yeah, you heard me right. Uh, it gets better. It is a potato shifter romance. I love it so much. It's written by J.P. Sale, part of the Weird and Wacky World of Shifters series. This is the first book, and I am very excited to read the rest of them. Um, and Aaron leads Tala to the mate fate has chosen for him. Frenchie is nothing like Tala expects or perceives he wants. Can love and the universe make Tala see sense before he ruins any chance at a happily ever after? Yeah, potato shifter named Frenchie. Honestly, I'm always very hesitant to read um, gay men romance novels when they are written by women. Um, I've read too many in the past that are just basically fetishizing. This was not. This actually felt like good representation. I did give this a 3.75. Um, it's the main reason I probably would have given this 4 stars. That's what my normal like romantic books get if they're not bad. If I enjoyed them, they get a 4 star basically. The reason I marked this down is that whereas Tala has like very much has like hobbies and a life outside of the relationship. He's the brother of the alpha. He runs a garage. He rebuilds like vintage cars and stuff like that. Frenchie does not. Um, Frenchie very much lives for the relationship essentially. And that always kind of bothers me. It is, I think it's very prevalent in uh, contemporary, maybe not even contemporary romance. Maybe it's just shifter romance. Oh no. Um, but it's something that I'm trying to read more of, or read less of those, but more where both characters have a life outside of the marriage. Because let's be honest, we all should have a life outside of our spouse or partner or significant other. The next one I read was Halloween, uh, which is, yes, I did read that for my channel. There will be a link down below to it if you want to listen to me read it. It's amazing. It's so funny. And that was originally going to be on my prompt list, but it got deleted, so it's not there anymore. So again, not something for any of these prompts. Yay. But I did give that 4 stars. It's, I mean, really, it's a sentient romance by Holly Wilde. They're going to be amazing. It's holiday themed. It was funny. Her descriptions are off the cuff, and at sometimes I can't. She kills me with them. Um, please, please go watch my other video because I say a lot about it while I'm reading it. Next was Jurassic Park. For the first time ever, I'm reading Jurassic Park. I know, a surprise. Um, and that was an extra prompt. It was a 4 hour tour, so we had to like roll a die, and that's how many hours we had to spend reading that day. Not a minute less, not a minute more. I got 4 hours, so I spent 4 hours reading Jurassic Park. Uh, did a buddy read. Absolutely loved it. If you have not finished this book and you are a part of that buddy read, let's go. We don't have much time. I can't see much about it because some of you haven't finished it. Let's go. All I will say, I want Child Nuggies again. I do think that's going to be my name after Christmas is Child Nuggies because it's just funny. Um, all right. 5 stars. How I have gone this long in my life, loving the movie but never reading the book, I don't know. I cannot wait to read The Lost World. It's going to happen. Next, I read I'm Sad and Horny by Haley Lou Richardson. This book of poetry took me out. I had to read, this was for our Scorpio book. I am not a Scorpio, but I was chosen as an honorary Scorpio because the prompt was that a Scorpio had to choose 3 other Scorpios, and you had to read a book that was published during the Scorpio season. And if you did that, you get to take a prompt off of your board and just not do it. So, hell yeah. And I chose this little book of poetry that had just come out. So it like came out November 7th, November 5th, something like that. Um, and it's just a little poetry book by Haley Lou Richardson. It's amazing. It has really funny pictures, fun and funny pictures that go along with the poems. Um, High key recommend. I absolutely loved it. Next is Titty Twisters. Yeah, you heard that. And this was also a surprise prompt. It's a book with a form of transportation. And I jokingly was like, hey, like the form of transportation has to be on the cover. And I jokingly was like, look, it's a tornado on the cover. Tornadoes can transport you. And I wasn't told no. Therefore, I read it. And ooh, this is by the same person who wrote Man, I Feel Like a Woman. It's Dixon Slowly. I don't know if I said that. Yeah, Dixon Slowly, you know. Dixon Slowly. Um this was so bad. I did give it 3 stars. However, let me it was not what I expected. It's called Titty Twisters, right? There ain't no titties involved. Also there's no blurb. So hold on, let me see if I can pull up a blurb for this real quick. Boop. Yeah, there we go. When a tornado tears through the rural rest stop, a group of strangers is forced to confront deadly secrets. As the storm rages on, they realize that the real horror isn't the tornado. Beneath the swirling storm is a monstrous, otherworldly creature hungry for human flesh. Will they survive the storm, or will the men inside the rest stop become the creature's next victims? Dive into this unapologetic, visceral tale of cosmic horror and splatterpunk madness. Reader discretion is advised. Yeah, no shit. It's a Dixon Slowly book. Yeah, so titty twisters. I'm just gonna tell you, one time the tornado gives a titty twister, like, titty twister, yeah. Um, so bad that it, like, they rip the skin off of the person. The rest of the time it's just lots and lots and lots of anal stuff. Just so much butt stuff. It's I Butt NATO probably would have been a better title than Titty Twister. Titty Twister's a great name. Hi, Grog. Scared the life out of me, buddy. Titty Twister's a great name. But it really wasn't what the book was about. It happened once on like page 3. So, and also, again, this is like a 22-page book, and there was at least 6 like grammar errors. So yeah, I gave it a 3 stars. I'm honestly wondering if I don't I don't know, is it an AI writer? I don't know, but there there's just weird inconsistencies. The main, well, not, yeah, the main character's name was spelled wrong, like at least once, maybe twice, and it's only a 22-page book. How? I don't know. I really don't. Anyways, we're skipping this. I'm getting frustrated talking about it again. Next, finally, my first book of the prompt, yes, is Deerskin by Robin McKinley. I love Robin McKinley. I really do. I've read multiple of her book. Sunshine is one of my favorite vampire books of all times. Um, but ooh, buddy, Deerskin was so hard. It was a so I did end up giving it 4.75 stars. That tells you, hey, stop it, Gregory. You gotta leave my lines alone, please, buddy. Um, I did give it 4. Sorry, my cat just knocked over my jar of crochet hooks. Okay. Well, those will get picked up later. But yeah, like all I own are metal crochet hooks, so they were very loud, and he scared himself. Oh, buddy. Okay. Um, 4.75 stars. Um, it, I thought it was going to be a 5-star read because it's Robin McKinley. Hmm. This had a very slow start. I did not get invested until like page 100. And normally I would have stopped, but it's Robin McKinley, and so I like had to keep going. Um, Oof. It was a rough read. Spoilers slash content warnings for some rape and incestuousness and a miscarriage. It was rough. However, if you can get to the cottage for the first time, you're golden. If you can get that far, the rest of the book is so much better than that first section. The story picks up, it becomes interesting. Lisla, the main character, becomes interesting, and the rest of the story is A plus. However, I did like totally, completely. I knew what was going to happen, but that's fine. It's all right. Sometimes we read books that we know exactly what's going to happen. Um, okay. Then that was my first prompt right there, published before 2000. Um, we're back to extra prompts now. I read Tua and the Elephant, and that was for a prompt of it had to have an elephant, or no, sorry. It was a book set in another country, so it's set in Thailand. It was cute. It's a middle grade book. Um, it was good. 10-year-old Tua, which is Thai for peanut, has everything she needs at home in Chiang Mai, Thailand, except for one thing. She's always wanted a sister. That's never said in the book. Like, that's never brought up. In the market one day, Tua makes an accidental acquaintance, one with a wise, loving eyes, remarkable strength, and a very curious trunk. When Tua meets Pompon, it's clear that this elephant needs her help. Together, the unusual team sets off on a remarkable journey to escape from Ponpon's vile captors. From the bustling night market to the hallowed halls of a Buddhist temple, and finally to the sanctuary of an elephant refuge, this clever girl and her beloved companion find that right under their nose is exactly what each has been searching for, a friend. Um, I gave it 4.5 stars. It's a great book for a kid. It's chapter book, but they were really short chapters. So it would probably be a good like bridge book. Um, the downside, it does have um type what's the language? Thai? Is it just Thai? It's got the language sprinkled in. Uh, you can mostly make context clues work to pick it up. So that may be a struggle for kids, especially for like 10, 12, 10-year olds. Um, but it's really cute and it really does show off the Thai culture and cuisine. There is, that little bit of darkness that I think is appropriate for kiddos. And there is like abuse of the elephant, and Tua gets kidnapped at one point towards the end of the book. Um, Again, nothing that's too dark for kiddos, I don't think. So it's a good book if you need a book for like a 10 to 12-year-old. Then I read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And that was for nothing. That was not a book for Sufferathon. That was a book for Herkyed. Um, so I will skip that for right now and come back to it. I am currently reading Shogun for two animals on the cover, or two or more animals on the cover. And then, which is an extra prompt from Sufferathon. That's like over 1,000 page book, and it's taking me forever. I'm not even done with the first part.